my friends, and welcome to our next video on our little journey of creating our new world of love. So we just did our little workshop, the first one ever, on Sunday, and it was actually very successful. We were a small group, but it was a really good experience and a wonderful feeling to get to meet each other, we who are connected to this channel, and just sharing parts of our journey that we think are challenging or difficult, and finding new ways to see our lives and to feel that we're moving on into a much more satisfying and wonderful life where we really feel joyful and content by just being who we are. So I'll be doing a new workshop again, and it will be on the 18th of August, same time. So we're going to do it in approximately a month's time. So for anyone who wishes to join, you're very welcome. And it is, you don't need to have any training, any particular abilities, any sort of knowledge. It's really for everyone who wishes to have a more satisfying and more joyful life. So we really go from where we stand and just see how we can move on. And so, yeah, you're very welcome. And if you want to join, just send me an email, and we'll work it out how you can come along. So here we are on this amazing journey through life, which, as far as I understand, we have chosen, each and every one of us, we have chosen to be right here where we are right now. And when life is very challenging, that can be very hard to understand. Why would I do this to myself? But it is because our spirit sees life in a very different way than our ego consciousness, the one we have been used to, who wants life to be easy and with not too many challenges. The spirit actually wants us to be challenged so that we can grow. So deep down, we don't want a too easy life. We want challenges on our way. And the very powerful thing that's happening right now on earth is that not only are you awakening and I am awakening, but the earth herself is awakening. And this can be really, really hard to comprehend. How can the earth, which is not a human, actually be consciousness and be aware? But this is the case, and that's what's so powerful about this time on earth, because it's never happened before, that a planet and all the planet's inhabitants are going through the same process of awakening to the fact that they are consciousness itself. And this state that we have been in for so long is a state of unconsciousness or sleep, a sleep state, where we have been living in separation. We have thought to ourselves that we must be all alone, and we're completely disconnected to everything. There's really no such thing as God, and if there is, I can't feel it, I don't know it. And I just have to struggle my way through life and try to cling to something that will make me feel good. And this whole era is ending now. And we are returning home. That's what we're doing. We really, as man had to do before, we had to die, we had to leave our body to return home. back to consciousness, back to full consciousness, back to the all-knowing, the isness, the state where we feel that we are everything and that there's no limit and that there's definitely no separation. It's completely unity. Everything is in unity. That state, we had to leave the body to experience that, because that state of consciousness is so highly vibrational that the physical body was too dense to handle it. But now we've been going through an intense purification process. We humans and all the earth, all of life, has been going through this purification process so that the physical matter has raised its vibration to a level where we can actually be physical and at the same time realize that we are consciousness itself. And it takes a very light body to be able to do that. You can't be in a dense body and with a dense mind that thinks in separation terms, that here we have the baddies and I'm all the goody, I'm with all the goodies and I'm going to beat up all the baddies. That very, very dense, very, very low vibrational state of consciousness cannot receive this very high vibrational truth, that we are those baddies over there. They're all a part of me. There's no such thing as them, really. We're all one. And we are consciousness itself. So the earth as a being is waking up to the fact that she is consciousness herself, she is a created being, and that she's one with everything. And so her vibration is raising and raising and raising, and we all have to go with her in our vibration in order to stay on the earth. So anything that wants to stay in a very low vibration has to leave the earth. And I don't know how that looks really, but this is just how I feel it and how I understand it. So it was very lovely last night. Sometimes I wake up during the night and I just get these little words or these little insights. And this one I got, which was very, I got into such a state of peace. I felt so peaceful, like this this river I was talking about last time. How the spirit is this river or this little stream. You can imagine this little forest stream with this very, very clear water that's softly sliding through the landscape. And that feeling I got all through my body. It was so peaceful, and at the same time I felt so alive. I feel like there was just absolutely nothing I needed to do, think, be, because all was just perfect, really. And this little sentence came to me, that there is only the true self, and that's it. There is my true self, which is really one with your true self. Although we are completely unique individuals with our own very, very uniquely made up mixture of traits, qualities, likes, dislikes, we are completely unique, and at the same time we are completely one. And within our uniqueness there is the true self, which is even more one with everything. So And it was just reminding me, I was just being reminded that all I really need to focus on is my true self. That's it. Because that's all there really is. Everything else is made up. You can spend time on it, but it's not really worth it. So go to your true self and feel it, know it, sense it, be it. And then, from there, you can unfold your life. And your life will, everything comes with ease, with grace, without having to really work out anything. Because you have become this little stream that's flowing, life, or you can also say it's a mountain stream, it's gushing out of the rocks. You are this outflow of consciousness. You are flowing out, and all you really need to do is let it flow. Let life flow through you. And the place where life flows through me and where I get to unfold my truth is from my true self. And as I was talking about last time, my human self has to allow my true self to unfold and to experience in this world. So I was just being reminded, and I wanted to share this today. And this I can talk about until I make my last video. This is all about reconnecting with our true self, finding and sensing our true self. What does it feel like? Who am I really? And how can I live in that love space, because our true self is pure love. It doesn't hold anything but love. But because we have been so far away from it, so detached from our true self, we've got to live in a state of non-love. It was a mind-controlled way of living where, as I've mentioned so many times, we organized our life so that it suited everybody else's life and the society we were in. And in that structure, we thought we could thrive. And we could, for many thousands of years, we could sort of thrive. But we were not thriving spiritually. We were thriving on a human level, to some degree. But our spirit was never really thriving. And so we're in this process now of realizing how much we are controlling our spirit and how little space we are giving the spirit in our daily lives. And it is a type of, the way we treat our spirit is not with kindness. So, yeah, it's hard to explain because how do we become kind to our spirit? Well, it's a funny way of saying it, but really this is all about kindness. And at the same time, enormous power. So by treating ourselves, we can just say, how do I become more of my true self in my life? What do I do? And so start with the little things. And it is really a matter of feeling, do I sense that I am being kind to myself? Do I send myself messages of love? Tell myself that I'm doing great. Because our spirit self is not a physical being, but our human self is. The body is our physical self. So we are, with our awareness, we're allowing the physical body and the spirit to completely merge with each other. so that our human self becomes controlled and guided completely by our spirit. So in our daily lives, when we get up in the morning, a way to move on this path and feel that our spirit is taking over more and more is to ask ourselves, am I really being kind to myself? Am I doing things I love to do in my daily life? Or is my life just a whole lot of activities that I really don't enjoy? But I've just done it for so long that I can't stop. It's just, it's become habitual, and it gives me this sense of safety. But it does not give me true joy, because I'm not allowing my true self to actually unfold. So we don't need to make a major shift in our lives. We can just do this in little steps. Some people, they choose to just sell everything they have, put a few items in a bag that are the most necessary, and just go off into the world. And that can be a very good and healthy thing to do sometimes for some people. But those of us who want to stay physically in the same place and who feel that is right for us, we can go on that trip just by with our mind, the way we treat ourselves. So set ourselves free within the structure that we have created. And the structure, the life that we are living, will of course change. So the first little steps of allowing the spirit to really get to shine its light and get to feel that it is allowed to be here is to simply ask ourselves, am I having fun in my daily life? Am I just going through day after day after day after day, doing hard work, being with people I don't like being with, and then looking forward to that holiday in 6 months I'm going on where I'll be able to have some fun? Or am I allowing that fun, that feeling of having fun and enjoying myself to actually be there in my daily life? And in the beginning it can just be little snippets of joy. And as we go and we get these new habits of creating situations in our daily lives where we're having fun and truly enjoying ourselves, when we go down this path, we realize that this is actually not so difficult, and it is incredibly refreshing and enjoyable, and that we get to see that that structure that we had made for ourselves was actually not so like concrete, firm. That was an idea we had. Life can be lived in enormous freedom right here where we are. We just need to change, allow the spirit to step forth and allow its wishes to be taken seriously. And then life can change from the inside out. So in this message, this video, I'm just sharing how important it is to really ask ourselves, do I feel my true self, which is my spirit? Do I feel it? And what does it feel like? Allow yourself to feel. What does it feel like? And in the beginning, it might just feel empty. And allow that emptiness to be there. And then ask myself, am I having fun? Am I allowing myself in my daily life to feel I'm having fun? And I can just touch on this briefly, but we can go into this deeper. Sometimes we have been so disconnected from the love and the joy within us that we really don't feel the feeling of joy anymore. It sort of left us. And this can be really difficult, because what can we, if we feel nothing, what is that even? And are we on the right track? So if you're one of those people, and I feel it sometimes myself, where I just really feel nothing, I can say to you, don't worry that you're feeling nothing and you're actually feeling empty. You actually don't feel the joy or the love or the peace. You're actually just feeling nothing. I can tell you that that is something, and that is actually just your next step. So this is where the allowing comes in, the importance, the vital importance of allowing. Make sure your human self allows whatever you're feeling. So when you're wishing to connect with your true self, and maybe you lie down, maybe you'd use one of my videos to relax. I can put one here, which is an old one of feeling deeply loved. Maybe you can use that, but otherwise, see whatever video, it could be another video from someone else. You lie down to relax, and all you feel is nothing. That can be really scary, because who am I then if I feel nothing? And I can promise you, I promise you, that you will start to feel things. You will start to feel these deep, beautiful emotions, but you have to go through that. It's an experience of feeling nothing. So the soul, your spirit is just really telling you that this is what you need to feel right now. And trust that your spirit will never mislead you. It will never guide you into something wrong. So because we have been so detached from our true self, some of us have been completely, well, we never can become completely detached, because we always had this tiny little string, golden, we were always, because we are deep down, we are God Himself, herself. So we were never completely detached, but we can feel that we have been living in such pain, and really in a type of depression for many, many years, maybe many, many lifetimes, and we haven't felt joy for a long, long time. If this is the case for you, you have just been detached from the joy that is within you. And so you might need a period of time where you simply feel nothing. There's nothing there. It's just empty. And this is where the Buddhist tradition is very strong, or they use this a lot in their teachings, that you go into the nothingness. And that is really the fullness of God. But it feels like nothing. So trust that it needs your attention, and to not fear it. Just don't fear it. So allow the nothingness to be there. Tell yourself that it's very beautiful. Whatever your spirit is guiding you to feel is beautiful. We don't judge it. So, and you can feel rage. You can feel the so-called negative emotions. After you felt the emptiness, you feel like you just want to beat up the whole house. You are so full of rage. Allow that too. There's nothing wrong with it, because you're integrating your spirit and your physical self are becoming one, and all the emotions that have been held back maybe for lifetimes are now surfacing. And that's what I've explained. All the so-called terrible things happening on earth now is only old, suppressed hatred, all the so-called negative emotions of humanity. It's all surfacing now to be released from the earth, because the earth is is releasing that from her. All this low density energy is leaving the earth. And so when this cup rises up from within you, don't push it back, just allow it to come. And as you probably have felt in your life, when you really needed to cry, after a while you felt so good after you had cried, because it was this release of sadness. So when I talk about the Spirit being full of love, being full of joy, being full of all this beautiful stuff, the Spirit will also send up all this stuff that feels very uncomfortable. So allow, allow, allow. When you want to be living as a spiritual being on this earth, in your body, you must allow whatever wants to surface in you. Just allow it. And see it as your inner child that needs to release these feelings. And tell your inner child that you are the adult and you are there to let this happen. And your inner child is safe with you. So we can go more into the inner child, because that's wonderful to work that way too. But so this is what's happening on earth. It's very powerful, very uncomfortable sometimes. And I love this little journey, this little ship I've set to sail a month ago, that where we are concentrating on this beautiful subject of creating our new lives and creating our new world, because that is really what we're doing. So thank you for being there, and yeah, it's wonderful. It's wonderful that you're there, and it's wonderful to be connected. And if you want to join in, as I said, our little group in the next workshop, you're very welcome. So have a wonderful day. See you, my friend.